Welcome to Winning with Annalee. I'm your host, Annalee Leonard, president and founder of Mainstay Financial Group, right on the corners of Antes and Perry. This month, next month, we've got a show that is really, really important. We're going to talk about things that a lot of you have questions about, or people in your family have questions about, and that is Dr. Connell's expertise, Medicare. What do we do about Medicare? The first time you have to enroll, what kind of mistakes do people make? Because goodness knows we see a lot of mistakes that happen. What kind of confusion occurs if you're still working? That's one of the questions Joan gets very often. I'm still working. What do I do about Medicare? What's going to happen in 2019? Because we're almost there already. I don't know how that happened, but we're almost there. Things that are going on in Florida, Escambia, Santa Rosa counties, Alabama, Baldwin, Mobile counties, because sometimes changing counties, changing states, things are different. And we got to talk about those. And some things we want you to think about when you're comparing Medicare drug and Medicare Advantage plans. So, lot to cover. So, Joan, let's get right to it because you're the Medicare expert in the office. We decided years ago you would take care of the Medicare long-term care. I do the financial planning, and it's made for a wonderful partnership for both of us. As a retired nurse, you understand the medical things. I look at them and it's like Greek. So let's talk first about mistakes that people make with Medicare and this whole idea of what's going on.
Well, I think, we have several mistakes that we focus on. And I think one of the most important aspects people need to be aware of is what happens when they turn 65. What do they need to do? Years ago, it wasn't confusing. Now, Social Security and Medicare are interlinked in terms of enrolling, okay? So, years ago, people, when they turned 65, that was their full retirement age for Social Security. So usually it was Medicare and Social Security at 65. Well, now we know that, what have they done, Annalee?
Well, most people now for Social Security are 66. Then our younger people are going to 66 in X amount of months. Some now are at 67. So, yeah, we're far away from the 65.
And guess what is still 65? Medicare.
For Medicare.
So they're no longer exactly...
that is confusing.
Yeah, it is confusing. Yeah. Because people say, well, okay, I'm going to wait for Social Security, so I'll just wait for Medicare. Well, unfortunately, that can be a major mistake because if you don't have a good reason for waiting, then you could get a penalty from Medicare because they want everybody to enroll at 65.
All right, wait a minute, back up. You're saying if I don't enroll in Medicare, I could have a penalty?
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, the penalty in most cases applies to Medicare Part B.
Okay.
Because there's a premium for that every month, and if you don't enroll on time for Medicare Part B, which for most people is when they turn 65, right? And we'll go through a few exceptions for that. But people who are on Social Security already, because they decided to get it early, some people decide to do that for various reasons, instead of waiting till it's a little bit bigger benefit. They're going to get their Medicare card automatically. They get it in the mail within 3 months of their 65th birthday because Social Security knows they're turning 65 and they're the ones that handle enrollment into Medicare.
Okay.
So the problem comes in when people wait for Social Security benefits. Now, it's not a problem for Social Security benefits, but it could be a problem for Medicare benefits because they might not know they have to enroll in Medicare themselves.
Okay,
it's not
so let's
automatic.
back up for a minute. So you've got two parts of Medicare. You got A and B. So are both of them you're automatically enrolled, or are you just automatically enrolled in one and not the other?
If you're on Social Security and being automatically enrolled in Medicare by turning 65, you're automatically enrolled in A and B.
Okay. But suppose I don't take my Social Security. I want to wait till I'm 70 at biggest benefit I can get. I'm going to wait till I'm 70. I hit 65. What happens?
You should, if you should, in most cases, enroll in Medicare A and B.
Okay.
Remember, Medicare A is hospital
Right.
coverage, Medicare B is medical coverage. So in order to have full coverage, you need A and B.
Got to have A and B. So B is deducted from your Social Security pay. So if I'm not collecting Social Security and you're telling me to enroll in B, how does that get paid?
Guess what the government does?
I have I'm sure they get your money.
They
some kind
send
of way,
you
but-
a bill. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Right. You can pay it, by check,
Okay.
or you can have it drafted now from your account. So yes, if you're not getting Social Security, believe me, they will get their Medicare Part B
They'll
premium.
get their Medicare
yes,
Part B.
Yeah, you will
so
still have to
they
pay
send
it.
you a little bill.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not a little bill, actually.
Yeah,
a
it's a
nice
big
bill.
bill. Yeah, this year it's in 2018 it's $134 a month for Medicare
Well, that
Part
depends
B.
on what kind of income you
Well,
make, doesn't
yes,
it?
it does, because
Yeah.
people who make more money, then they're going
They
to pay a
pay more
higher
money.
premium. That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. So, and that is what we call the income-related monthly Medicare adjustment.
Okay.
I love the way they call it that,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
IRMA. You know, it's really, you make more, you pay more.
Like everything else
Exactly.
with our society.
Exactly.
I mean, you know.
So anyway, it affects probably about 6% of Medicare enrollees. It's not a huge number, but if it does affect those people, they need to know about it because.
Sure. Well, it's part
like
of your
you know,
financial plan.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah.
It's part of what we look at,
Right.
because it does have to be built into the whole financial plan.
Sure.
You know.
That's something I talk to people when we talk about Roth conversions. You know, because if you convert some of that traditional IRA to Roth, that counts as income. So if you're getting close to getting on your Medicare supplement, you have to know that for 2 years, your Medicare Part B premium could be higher because you did that conversion. Now, I'm not saying don't do them, but you got to plan for it. You got to know what it's going to cost you.
Yes, and the way that adjustment works is they look back at your taxes from 2 years prior, and then the year, like say 2016 affected people in 2018. So whatever their income was, the bottom line on their taxes was for 2016.
Right.
That
Affects
determined whether
18.
they had, yes. Now, let's say in 2017, their income goes down. Well, in 2019, their premium will be what everybody else pays.
Got it.
So it just affects you for 1 year. But they look back 2 years.
They look back
at
2
that
years.
tax. Yeah, it's the earliest tax return they have, I guess, to
You know,
look at.
as I'm listening to you, I'm so amazed because you and I talk about this so often. But when I very first started in this business, you know, I used to go out with one little sheet of paper on an 8.5 by 11 that had all the Medicare plans, and it was so simple. It was so simple. And then, you know, the government got in to quote unquote simplify it and add additional benefits, and at that point it became extremely confusing, very confusing.
Yes, yes.
And
I have a question though. Did
Yes.
they have Medicare when you first got into this business?
Yes, they did.
Oh,
Thank
okay.
you
I was
very
just
much.
checking.
Not when you were in, but yes, when I was in, they did. So we don't have to sign up at 65, but if you don't sign up at 65, do they still penalize you? I mean, let's suppose you're still working
Yeah.
and you got a job where you're covered by health insurance.
And that's where I want to clarify. So,
Okay.
you know, people that don't have to sign up at 65 are people that have group health insurance, and either they are working or they have insurance through a spouse who is working. Okay, the key is the person has to be working and providing the group coverage. All right. Now, one important thing to remember is some people work at businesses that are small and some people work at businesses that are large.
Right.
If a person is working at a business and they have, or their spouse, okay, and they have group health insurance at a business with less than 20 employees, okay, they have to sign up for Medicare.
Okay.
But if they work for an employer that has more than 20 employees, they have the option to, they probably should sign up for Medicare A because it doesn't cost anything.
Right,
It's premium free because we paid for it as we've worked. But they don't necessarily need to sign up for Medicare Part B and pay that monthly premium because they have primary coverage at work.
Okay.
Okay, so their group insurance is primary if they or their spouse is working, and Medicare is secondary. So why pay for something you might not need?
That you might not use.
Now, I will tell you, I always tell my people that come to see me, I don't know about your group health plan. You need to call the plan administrator to see if it is beneficial for you to get Medicare Part B, or if it's required with your particular health plan.
Yeah. And I think that's an important fact because, you know, people come into me often with questions on their 401k and moving it and whatever. Companies, custodians for companies, have the right to write plans the way that company instructs them to do. So it's not like everybody's exactly the same. Don't ever think that. So, you know, people will come in and say, well, Joe, my friend said he could do, and if he works for a different company, that doesn't mean you can do the same thing. So the thing is, you always want to check, you always want to know what the facts are surrounding your need, your company. That's why I tell everybody, I mean, 65, and you know, we've seen it so often, you literally, when you turn 65, you get wheelbarrows of information.
Yes,
wheelbarrows.
you do.
And every one that you get, you open it up and you read it, and they all say, I'm the best. No,
That's
I'm
right.
the best.
Right.
Oh no, I'm the best. Well, they cannot all be the best. One of them is going to be the best for you in your particular situation. So that's why I highly advise people to go to your classes, come in, sit down and talk to you, because alone it's very difficult to try to figure this out. It's like a swamp that you're walking in.
It is, and you know, everybody, they say, well, go to Medicare.gov and you can do this yourself. And it is, I agree with you, Annalee, it's very difficult. And everyone who comes in to see me says exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services, they think, well, people can do this themselves. It's because they live with it every day.
They live with it every day.
Right.
It's like going to the doctor and you're talking to the doctor about something he knows about. Well, I don't know about it. Simplify it for me. Speak in my language. Help me to understand the best treatment I can have. Don't expect me to go do research on my own treatment plan. So we're going to take a quick break, and then when we get back, we're going to talk about some of the other things that come up and mistakes that you need to avoid, okay? We'll be back in just a minute.
Retirement strategies come in all shapes and sizes. One strategy does not fit all when it comes to reaching your retirement goals, and considering all your options may be, well, more than you want to think about. So whether you're looking to retire or already living in retirement, you need a strategy tailor-made for you.
Hi, I'm Annalee Leonard with Mainstay Financial Group, and I'm here to design a financial plan for you and for those that you love.
Hart, what's going on?
I'm leaving.
Why? What did I do?
Not enough. You constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit.
Okay, I get it. I'll do better. Just please, don't leave.
Okay. But remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Mainstay Financial Group offers advocacy and personal financial guidance in a caring environment. That's the heart of our practice. At Mainstay, we're dedicated to exemplary service and a caring relationship with our client, not with a number. Plan for the future now with Mainstay Financial Services.
Welcome back to Winning with Annalee. I'm your host, Annalee Leonard, president of Mainstay Financial Group, right on the corner of Cervantes and Perry. And today with me is Dr. Joan Connell, my business partner, and we're talking about her area of expertise, Medicare, signing up for Medicare. A, B, the first time you sign up, open enrollment period, all those good things that go along with this. So let's talk, Joan, if we can, for a little bit about another problem we run into, especially in this area. We have a lot of veterans. And first of all, if you would, let's explain what we mean by a veteran. And do veterans have to go and sign up for Medicare because they've got VA benefits, don't they?
Yes. Now, I have to tell you, I'm not an expert on VA benefits.
Okay.
All right? But I do know, like for instance, yesterday, and this comes up fairly often, I had a couple in to see me, and the husband is a veteran, and he has a non-service connected, no, he has got a service-connected problem.
Okay.
So he goes to the VA, and however, he's been on Medicare, and he has retiree insurance. So he uses his retiree insurance to go to the doctors from the place where he used to work, okay? And he gets his medicines at the VA because he saves money by going to the VA, okay? He could use his drug plan if he wished, but he chooses to go to the VA to get his medications filled, okay? The important thing to remember, and this comes up in my classes a lot, the VA and Medicare are two distinct separate systems, and they don't cross over.
They don't cross.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you want to use VA benefits, that's great. If you want Medicare, you have to enroll in Medicare in order to use Medicare benefits. Okay.
Okay.
So it's important to recognize that distinction.
And I know one of the problems they had said they were having were people not being able to be seen, waiting in long lines. But wasn't it Obama who in 2014 enacted, what was it, the Veterans Access Choice and Accountability Act?
Right.
Boy, that's a mouthful.
Right, which enabled veterans to get care outside of the VA system in order to facilitate their being seen.
So they could be seen more quickly.
Yes.
So if you are a veteran, I guess the thing is really sit down and understand what your benefits are, talk to you, find out what the Medicare benefits are, and see how they blend together.
Yes, and in many cases, veterans right here in town, you know, they don't have to go to Keesler or to over the
NES.
Gulfport. Yeah, they can be seen by, depending on, the VA can send them to a provider or a facility here in town, and then they can work together to have the VA
Well,
take
that's
care
part
of
of that act
Yes.
that was put in
Yes.
14.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. Now, here's another one that I hear often, people getting ready to go in Medicare. They think, oh, it's free. Well, we just kind of went over that. No, it is not free. Nothing is free. You have put into all of your life. That's part of what, when you look at your paycheck and you see those little initials, FICA, part of that is going toward Medicare.
Right.
And that is what is being used to pay your Medicare Part A, and then you pay for B. So people will come in and they'll say, well, why do I even have to do this? Because, you know, I can just go and somebody will take care of me. I mean, Medicare's out there. Do I even have to sign up? But my goodness, the cost of medicine is just astronomical. And people think Medicare pays for everything, but it doesn't.
Oh, no. I mean, no. With Medicare A and Medicare B, which is what you sign up for initially.
Yeah.
All right? Remember, Medicare has 4 parts. A, B.
I thought it was only 2.
Nope, 4
No,
parts.
it's 4. Thank you,
4
Joan.
parts.
Okay.
Medicare A, Medicare B. Original Medicare, that's what we started with.
Right.
They added Medicare Part C back in the 90s, which is a way to get Medicare benefits, A and B, through a private insurance company. Okay? Because A and B is the government. It's Medicare and Medicaid services. Part C is what we know as Medicare Advantage plans, and those are private insurance companies that administer the plan, and then a person goes into those plans, they have to live by the rules of that plan. Okay? We can talk about that. I think I'd like to kind of push that off maybe till our next month's show, talk a little bit more about that. But because I can't believe we've just been talking about enrollment this whole time.
Right,
you know?
right.
I mean, that's how confusing it is.
Well, it's very confusing, and you know, you start getting all of this information, and then the question is, what do you do with the information?
Yeah, and let me clarify, Annalee. We enroll in Medicare A and B, either automatically getting Social Security, or we enroll ourselves. That's what everybody enrolls in initially.
Okay.
Then after that point, you then can choose. You choose which Medicare Part C plan to enroll in if you choose to go that route, or a Medicare Part D prescription drug plan. You have to enroll in one of them. So it really gets confusing, and the way I clarify it for people is I talk about the 1 card and the 3 card system, because you have 2 ways to get your Medicare benefits. One is using Original Medicare, which has deductibles and coinsurance amounts. So in order to handle those, you get a Medicare supplement, right? And then you get a Part D drug plan. So you got 3 cards: your red, white, and blue card, your supplement card, and your drug plan card. Okay? So that's
you're carrying all these cards around?
3 cards, yes.
3 cards?
Yeah, 3
okay,
cards,
good.
okay?
All right.
And that enables you to go to any hospital, any provider who takes Medicare.
Okay.
All right? And it also enables you with your drug plan to choose, for instance, in 2019, one of 29 drug plans to tailor to yourself. Okay, so that's the 3 card system.
So let's stay in the drug plan for a minute. So do I just pick my drug plan because one looks good, or does it have anything to do with the medications I'm on?
It has everything to do with your medications.
Ah,
everything.
interesting.
That's what drives a person's choice for their Part D drug plan, if they're in my 3 card system. And it also has a great impact if somebody chooses to go to the 1 card system, which is Medicare Part C. You get 1 card from the insurance company that has that plan, all right? That Medicare Advantage plan. And it bundles together your hospital, your medical, and your drugs.
Okay.
Okay. So that 1 plan is only 1 card. That's all you need. You don't show any of the other cards when you go to the doctor, just that 1 card. Very similar to what people have when they're working and have group health insurance. You have your card and you bring it to the doctor. At any rate, Medicare Advantage, in my opinion, that 1 card system, Medicare Advantage plans, drugs play a great role in that as well, because the cost of your drugs in one Medicare Advantage plan might be much higher than in another one. Okay. However, paired with that, you also then need to see, does my doctor take that plan? Okay.
So it's like an HMO.
It's like an HMO or a PPO. That's exactly right.
Okay.
It's an HMO or a PPO.
Because people are familiar with those.
Yeah,
They've been with that
glad you brought that
during
up, yeah.
all
So.
of their business working. So it's kind of like, the difference to me is, do you want to have the ability to choose who you want to see, when you want to see them, or do you want to stick within a plan that has I know when I used to do health insurance years ago, we referred to it as the gatekeeper. You know, you could not go see someone.
Yeah, like that's
So
the
you went to see your big guy.
HMO.
Yeah,
that's
the
an
HMO.
You have
Yeah.
to see your primary to go to anybody
Right,
else.
right.
PPO is a little bit more
Little bit
flexible,
different, yeah.
but still,
Yeah.
you're still within a network. Whereas with the 3 card system, you can choose anybody. Now, however, you have to protect yourself from the Medicare costs when you are in the 3 card system by getting a Medicare
You
supplement.
get a supplement.
And of course, that's a monthly premium. So I always tell people, look, do you feel more comfortable planning ahead and knowing what your budget is and paying a monthly premium, so that if next year or the year after you have this illness or whatever, you know exactly what you're going to pay, very little out of pocket?
Right, right.
Or do you want to pay as you go, which is what a Medicare Advantage plan is, because you pay something every time you do something?
Well, I think the essence of it, and people get very confused or complacent with the idea that when they look at some of the systems, they say, oh, I'm not paying a premium, it's free. Again, let's go back to what we said in the first part of the show. There is no free lunch, people. You're either going to pay for that supplement and know exactly, as Joan says, what your budget is each month, or if you go on the system where you're not paying a monthly premium, if you have a major illness, there's going to be a nice sized deductible there, and that hits you by surprise. So you've got to understand, don't go into this thinking, oh, I'm going to take this plan over here because I don't have to pay anything. Well, yeah, you do. It's coming out of your Medicare Part B that you're paying to the government anyway.
Right. Let me just clarify. With Medicare
Okay.
Advantage plans, in most cases, there are no deductibles. There are out-of-pocket expenses.
Well, it's
Yeah.
just different wording.
No, because deductible, that's what you have to pay before the plan starts covering
Right.
you, okay? With the Medicare Advantage plan, they cover you from day one, but you're paying from day one anytime you do something until you reach a certain maximum out of pocket,
Okay.
which I'll talk more about next month.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think the biggest idea, and I hope this is what everybody's getting, this is not a simple adventure. It's not like you just get the wheelbarrow of stuff and go, let's see, okay, throw that one out, throw that, oh, this one looks good, let me take this one. Please don't do that. Do a full, complete analysis. It's like I tell people when you come in for a financial plan, that is exactly what we do. We do a plan that's going to take you through, and then you can make some decisions. You have to see which plan fits you the best. And what we're going to do, Joan, if it's okay with you, next month, I want to continue this and go into open enrollment and a little bit more in the different plans and what they do.
Good, because I want to talk to people about how they can choose a plan.
Yes. So come back and see us next month. Bye-bye.